there, Lisa here. So in about a week and a half, I'm going to be moving to Belgrade, Serbia. And so for the past 3 months, we've been living in Zagreb in Croatia. And so in this video, I'm going to just share with you why we like living in Zagreb. So just to give you some background, in the past 2 years, I've actually lived in Croatia for a total of 5 months. The first 2 months, that happened last year when I was traveling through Europe alone. I spent 2 months in Croatia by myself. I visited Rijeka, Zagreb, Split, Korčula, and then Dubrovnik in that 2-month time period. For 1 whole month, I was on the island of Korčula. And then because I liked Croatia so much, I decided to come back here with my husband. This year, we spent 3 months, or close to 3 months, as we're getting ready to move on. We've been living in Zagreb for the entire 3 months. And yeah, it's good that I visited Zagreb last year, even though I only spent, I think it was about a week here. I had lots of fun, visiting the coastal cities and spending that month on the island of Korčula. But Zagreb was one of my favorite places. And the reason why Zagreb was so interesting to me, you just have a much different vibe here than you do in the coastal cities, because I think most people come to Croatia to experience the beaches and the islands, stuff like that. So it's a different experience to stay in a larger city like Zagreb, where you don't have beaches and it's, quite a bit inland. So the vibe is just much different. Right now, we've been living in a residential part of the city called Utrina. It only takes us 30 minutes to get into the city center by tram, so it's super convenient. And even though Zagreb is the capital of Croatia and it's quite large, the city of Zagreb, including Zagreb County, is just over 1 million people. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It's not too chaotic, at least in my opinion, based on the other cities I visited in the past. Probably the main reason why I like the city is that it's not touristy. You will have tourists visiting here, but it's a much different vibe than the tourists you get in the coastal towns. Especially, we're living here in the off season, in the fall going into winter. It's not as busy. I feel like we're getting a much better experience, like a true experience, what it's like to live in Croatia in the city versus spending a holiday on the coast. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I had a great time staying on the coast, but this is more my speed when it comes to just like everyday living. Another thing I love about this city is the public transit. It's very cheap, it's reliable, and you can go anywhere in the city you want in under 30 minutes. It's just well connected. The trams and the bus lines, they all use the same ticket. And so because the public transportation is so affordable, we can travel around the city as much as we like. It's only 4 kuna to take us, anywhere in the city under 30 minutes. You can hop on a tram, ride it for 10 minutes, hop off, get on another tram, no problem. It's very convenient, easy to get around, and it's a lot cheaper than some of the other cities I visited where I didn't want to use the trams or bus systems because it would be too expensive for me. And besides the public transportation network in the city, Zagreb is in a good location if you wanted to visit other cities nearby or even travel to other countries. From the main train station in the city, you can go to Ljubljana, which is, a 2.5-hour ride away into Slovenia. We're taking a train from Zagreb to Belgrade, which is going to be like a 5.5-hour train ride. And the tickets here are very affordable. Compared to prices in the UK, they're outrageously cheap. Yeah, so our tickets to Belgrade were under $60 for both of us going one way. That's a decent price for us. And going to Ljubljana isn't going to cost us very much either, which we'll be doing next week. It's a good location if you want to visit the rest of the Balkan area. And then of course, the public transit coming from the airport makes it convenient to visit the city, because you can take a bus from the airport to the main bus station, and then you can take a tram to wherever you're staying in the city. Another thing that's huge to me when visiting a place or deciding to live somewhere, semi-long term, like spending 3 months of the year in a place, is that there has to be ample green space and it has to be clean. And the air, I don't want it to be polluted. And so Zagreb has that. It has all of those things. There's so much green space even right in the city center. There's huge parks, big open squares in the middle of the city. The air here is clean, it's fresh, even though this is a large city. My allergies aren't impacted, my breathing, I can breathe easy here. Yeah, it just makes it a nicer place to live and visit when we can go for a walk and there's green space and there's trees and the air is nice and clean. And also, there are so many workers here dedicated to just picking up rubbish and like emptying the recycling bins. There's bins everywhere, and you'll see people, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, there's people out there working, cleaning the city, picking up the rubbish. And then when it comes to recycling, not only will you find recycle bins everywhere, you can also get paid to recycle plastic bottles in the major grocery stores, and that's something that we've done here, where you take a plastic bottle in, it goes through this little machine thing, and then you get like a little receipt for like 50 lipa, which is half a kuna. And then you can take that to the till when you're paying for your groceries, and then they just take the discount off of your bill. So it's nice that they encourage recycling in that way. And then, you know, with all this green space, there's plenty of wide pedestrian and bike paths in the residential areas, like where we're living now. You find them everywhere. There's bike paths even in the city center. So just to encourage people to ride their bikes around instead of driving a car. And then of course the well-connected public transit system also helps with that. The city is very clean. It's one of the cleanest cities I've ever visited. And I mean, Croatia in general, all of the cities are clean, but Zagreb stands out to me just because it's, you know, a capital city, but it's very clean here. And so Zagreb is one of my favorite destinations just because it's perfect for vegans. It's perfect for high-carb vegans. And even if you're a vegan who likes to eat out, it's good for you too. Zagreb has over 20 fresh produce markets like dotted all over the city. There's markets everywhere, so you're never going to be far from fresh, cheap produce. You can always find a market to pop into to get something to eat. There's also several large grocery store chains where if you're in the residential area, you can find Plodine, Coughlin, Konzum, Lidl, shops like that, huge ones. And all of those shops have like a dedicated like vegan, vegetarian, organic section too, which is nice. If you're in the city center itself, you'll always have little like smaller shops, like Konzum has like little grocery shops like all over the city, so you're never going to be far from food. And it's not hard to find something vegan to eat in those shops. And then if you like eating out, there's several vegan and vegan-friendly restaurants in the city center too. We don't eat out at all, but the fresh produce here is very affordable. And we spend, for 2 people, around $500 a month on eating as much produce and as much pasta, rice, oats, and potatoes as we want. That's one of the reasons why we like living here. And so there's a few other things I like about Zagreb. In the city center, there's free public Wi-Fi and it's very fast. Last year when I was visiting Zagreb, I was actually uploading my YouTube videos on the public Wi-Fi. So it was fast, reliable. It's available in the public parks and the main city squares. I've never felt unsafe walking alone at night. You know, last year I was in Croatia for 2 months by myself, and when I was in Zagreb and all of the other cities as well, I never felt unsafe at any time. And in addition to that, everyone here is incredibly friendly and willing to help you. Everyone's smiling. It's like no one's having a bad day. And most people can speak English, so you don't have to worry about not being able to communicate with people, or at the very least they understand English. And so we haven't had any issues communicating with people in the markets or in the shops or anything. Even in the post office. Croatian is very similar to Polish. A lot of the words are similar, like the numbers are very similar. So Kuba is Polish and I'm learning Polish. We can get by using like Polish numbers, so we can get by that way. But yeah, in general, I mean, I really like living in Zagreb, and so does Kuba. And we could definitely see ourselves settling down here someday. It's affordable for us to live here. We were able to get this flat that we're in now through Airbnb. We rented it for 3 months. And if you've never tried Airbnb before, check in the video description down below because you can get a discount if you sign up through me. Yeah, this flat, it's really nice. It has everything we need. It's close to, you know, that fresh produce market. It's close to the city center. We can get there in 30 minutes by using the tram. I'm a little sad that we have to leave in a week and a half to go to Belgrade, but I do expect our time in Belgrade, which will be 2 months, and then after that, 2 months in Sarajevo. I expect that to be very similar to the vibe we have in Croatia. So I'm looking forward to seeing some new cities. Yeah, if you've never considered visiting Croatia, I highly recommend looking at Zagreb. In addition to Zagreb, Split is another excellent location, and they both have airports, you know, Zagreb and Split, so getting to those cities isn't a problem. But Zagreb is still one of my favorite cities of all time. There's always something going on. Jazz festivals, music festivals, art festivals, lots of food-related festivals. There's always something going on, lots of museums here. Yeah, there's plenty to do. There's places to go hiking. I guess in the winter they even have skiing. We've seen some ski resorts when we were going hiking before. Great public transportation. It's clean, lots of green space. It's good for vegans. I really don't have any complaints. So if you've ever visited Zagreb, please let me know how you liked it down in the comments below. And let me know what you thought of this video. If you have any other questions regarding Zagreb or traveling through Croatia in general, please ask me in a comment as well. Soon we'll be in Serbia, but I'll have a few more videos for you leading up to that. But thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And feel free to reach out to me on social media. All of my info is in the video description down below. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a good day.